lecture. Assalamu alaikum, dear students, and a very warm good morning to all of you. Hope all of us are doing great today. So we were just started chapter 1 in our last lecture, and we just completed around 28 slides, and we were talking about building customer relationships. We all know that building customer relationship has become a very important thing in the businesses, but it was not possible in the early ages, like when they were not having this technology, but the technology has helped to identify a large number of customers and can approach them and can make a good relationship with them. Like I must have told you in my previous lecture that I received birthday messages from my banks. So the banks, they have got your birthday. What they do is they send you, they just put it in the system, and the system generates messages. To be honest, I received like 7, 8 messages from the same bank because they just put it in the system, and the system was sending messages across to us. So that gives you a very good feeling about the company, like the company cares about you. So because of this technology, the companies have got a better understanding of their customers. They know their customers. I also told you about the loyalty card that has been initiated by Lulu. So yeah, and you must also go to Otham on other any stores, and they just give you the cards, and they just give you incentives for using those cards. Like I told you, the Lulu is giving you happiness points, and they're running like campaigns. When you buy the particular product, they're gonna give you a discount on that product. The whole concept is that they want to shift their customers on a technology, and so that they can have a better understanding of the customer, their needs, and their purchases. So this is a great, I think, improvement in the overall in the history of marketing. It was not possible like that. Earlier, we used to do certain kind of experiments. We used to study consumers, and we used to pay lots of money to just to find out their buying habits. And it was a really tough job for the marketeers. But now, because of the advancement of the technology, it has become very easy for the businesses. Like they just ask you to scan the barcode, and you become a member. And every time you just purchasing the stuff, they ask you to again show your number, so you show your barcode to them. But in reality, what happens is all those purchases that you are doing, that are also going to the system, and that is making a big data. Big data is something that most of the companies are interested about. They want to study about the likes and dislikes and habits of the consumers. So that's why we see, like, restaurants that in near future and today, there's lots of demand for the data analysts, the individuals who can just make a meaningful understanding of the data. So we are all of us, we are producing data on a daily basis, and the companies are very much interested about it. So building customer relationships using this data is very important. So this partner relationship management involves working closely with partners and other company departments outside the company to jointly bring great value to customer. So this is like in the early eras when we were studying this marketing, there used to be a relationship between suppliers and the retailers, and the whole supply chain, in which we have ultimately want to bring facilities for the customer. And in the early era of the businesses, they were just treating them enemies. Like, You're always struggling with your suppliers, and you just try to put your supplier on a hook because you think he's exploiting you, and so that you also always wanted to make sure that you have a better bargain. So you can just switch one supplier to another supplier, and you were just looking for the best economical bargain. But now the concept has changed, and it is called partnerships. So all these members in the supply chain, they are just trying to be so friendly, they're just trying to be so cooperative with each other so that ultimately the customer gets the maximum benefit. So let me give you an example, like that would make your life a bit easier and to understand this partnership concept. So let's see if you are selling a tea, no? I'm just trying to write if I can. You are selling tea, okay? So what you have got is that most of the restaurants or coffee shop, they are using your tea, okay, or restaurants. So the company would treat the coffee shops, and the coffee shop would treat them as partners, so that they don't treat them as competitors, or they don't treat them as a threat. Like as I told you, and previously there used to be a tug of war between both of them. They were just trying to get the minimum prices, and the objective was that just to get the maximum out of the other and just move on. But now they have realized that it's not about a competition, it's basically a partnership. If a tea company is making one of the best tea, somehow this shopkeeper or the chef or in the cafe, he does not know how to make this tea in a proper manner. So it is the responsibility of the tea producer to educate him, to use him in the best possible manner and the best possible taste so that he can develop this taste. If the customers are going to be higher for the coffee shop, they're going to come back and they purchase your tea. So and it goes vice versa. So if the coffee shop gets some information and they have done something tremendous, or they know like this particular uh, taste of this tea or this particular ingredients in the tea are very good, they're gonna come back and they just educate the tea manufacturers or the tea distributors, or. So that's why they conduct lots of trainings for each others just to get a better understanding about their products. So if they can have a better understanding of their products, ultimately they'll be gonna deliver a very good services to the customers. So the whole concept is to deliver services to the customers. Have you got this concept? Then partners inside the company is very every functions area interacting with customers. So are partners within the company as well. Like you just treat all the employees different working in different departments. They are also working as your partners. So the important thing is that they are connecting with each other. The departments are not, competing each other. So I have seen it in like one of the institutions that in which different departments they were just competing with each other. So if we are in a P&G, Procter and Gamble, let's try to P and I can't write it properly today. P&G. So they've got like number of product range. So their products are supposed to complement each other. They are not going to compete each other. They just should not do a demarketing for other products. So what happened is there has to be a synergy between all the departments. So they are electronically linked up. There's a cross-functional teams. They just try to make sure that no other team competes in a negative manner. If one product, for example, I gave you an example of detergents. In detergents, uh, for instance, P&G has got uh, bonus, and it has got Surf Excel. Let's assume they've got what are any other brand you can just product name if you can remember. So these are all the product range of P&G. So what happened is, if you are putting advertisement for Surf Excel, and that advertisement is countering the strategy that bonus is falling or any other of its product is falling, that is not good or helpful to the company. So the whole concept is that there has to be a synergy between all the different uh, product range that you are having. So that's why they create, here it says cross function, every functional area. So they create them so that they have partners inside the company in every functional areas. So they create cross-functional teams for this purpose. Then they have partners outside the company, is how marketers connect with the suppliers, channel partners, competitors by developing partnerships. So that this concept I've already explained to you, the how they do it. So it is within the company as well and outside the company. You are just consider them as partner. So this is a whole philosophical change. If you consider somebody an enemy, like if you feel threatened about if you are like threatened by a teacher, so you'll always be thinking like he's gonna or she's gonna deduct my marks. So you if you say sit down in a problem, and then you think like, oh, you might be deduct my marks. So the fear is a very negative thing. But if you don't consider that negative, if you get consider them as a positive, all the vibes and all the things that are coming back to you would be very positive. Same goes with the companies. If the companies consider that he is my competitor, we are competing. So if they're making huge profits, you get scared of it. Instead of that, you should be happy. Like if you are a tea producer and your coffee shops are making a lot of profit, that is a good thing for you. You should be very happy, because if they're gonna sell a lot of tea, then they're definitely gonna come back to you and ask you for more tea. So that is the concept. They call them partnerships. What happened is a supply chain is a channel that stretches from raw materials to components to final products to final behavior. So a supply chain, as we've already touched upon it, it starts from the wholesaler, okay? Then we have the retailer. Sorry, we must have here the producer, the manufacturer. Manufacturer goes to wholesaler, then the retailer, and then it goes to customers. So that you can have number of retailers, you can have number of wholesalers, and you can have a number of manufacturers. So you decide upon which manufacturer you want to buy. Then basically what happened is these wholesalers, they are buyers, but they buy the products in large quantities. Then they give this to the retailer, and the retailers, they just choose the product as per their own convenience. Like we have bakalas, or we can call Lulu, which is also a retailer, but at the same time they can be wholesalers. They might be buying the products in a wholesale amount. But basically, in most of the cases, the wholesalers are kind of the one that buy the products and services from the manufacturers directly, and they just And then the retailers, wholesalers can have further wholesalers, and the retailers can have further retailers, and the process can go on. Like I can see there can be many bakalas. They can go to Lulu and they can just purchase the products from there. So the concept is that this is the chain which is very important. This is called supply chain, and its whole responsibility of the supply chain is that it tries to, it endeavors to bring the product direct to the customer in such a manner that the customer gets the maximum utility. So if the customer gets maximum value of this, then it is very useful for the whole channel, so they can get maximum profit. So nowadays you see that Amazon, Alibaba Express, Alibaba, so they have revolutionized the whole this supply chain manage. So they can just, especially Alibaba, and they just bring products and services direct to the customer. But in a conventional manner, in the businesses, this process is followed in this manner. So outlets, mega stores like Lulu, if they are the retailers, okay, but what they are doing is they just go, which we call them backward integration. They go here and they also become wholesalers. So please explain me, what do you want me to explain again? If you can write down your question so that I can understand what do you want me to repeat, please? Okay. The first part about the supply chain. First part about the supply. Okay, so let me explain the supply chain again, the whole process, okay? So I've done a lot of mess on this slide. I can go on to another slide and I'll just explain this just over there if I got some space here. So let me explain the supply chain again. So the whole supply chain starts from marketer. I wish I can write it down today. Marketer. It goes from marketers. There are businesses that is a business opportunity for them. The people or these businesses, they buy in bulk, lots of quantity of these products. So they buy them in bulk. So from these wholesalers, these are in businesses, we call them retailers. They buy them in little quantity and then they ultimately give it to the customers. So this is the chain that normally happens. So from the manufacturer, it goes to the wholesalers. The wholesaler purchase it in large amount, bulk amount of quantity. So in wholesalers, they can be further wholesalers, and then the retailers, they can have further retailers. Like I told you, Lulu itself is a retailer, but uh, you can see a Bakala when they see a good deal that is being given on the Lulu, which is far better than even the wholesaler from which they buy. They just go and purchase this from the wholesaler, from the Lulu. So what Lulu has actually done is they are the retailers, but they just went back and they have also become wholesalers. So this supermarket giants, superstore giants, what they do is they just assume both the function. What they do is they are also serving as a retailer, and they're just going to buy the products in such a large amount that they also become a wholesaler for their own business. So why do they do it? This, as they are moving back, we call it backward integration. If a wholesaler or if a business moves to the front, like if the manufacturing companies becomes their own wholesalers, I don't know if Caterpillar or these big machines, they if they become their own wholesalers, they can get profit. There's a margin. So we have to understand there's a margin from marketers. If a wholesaler buys something and if it's selling to the retailer, he's getting his you know value for money. So he's putting some extra price to the product price that he's purchasing. So that goes on. When the retailer gets it from the wholesaler, he also adds his own margin, and then the ultimate customer gets. Now, this seamless invention in the recent past, this Amazon and this called Alibaba, they have facilitated consumer. They have become a channel by themselves. So they have just skipped this whole sellers and they just have linked the manufacturer to the customer. And they knew that they are very clever. They knew that there is margins between them. The wholesaler is also getting some extra money. The retailer is also getting some extra money. So they have link the customer to the manufacturer and they have just trying to get the maximum profit for themselves. So if you put an order, you're gonna, even if you're routing from the different countries, it's gonna come to you. So this is the concept that we have to understand about uh, supply chain management. Now coming back to the different concept, this is capturing value from customers. So this was the last, slide, the last uh, or the best objective that we were talking about in the slides, this marketing process, this is the ultimate objective is capturing value from the customer. So all these efforts that the businesses are putting together is for some reason, and the reason is that they want to get, if the business is for profit, so we have to understand there are two businesses type of business. One is for profit, the business that needs uh, revenue or business that needs profit, and there can be another business that they don't need no profit, like most of the charities or charitable or businesses are run for the purpose that they do not want to make some profit, but still they are businesses, still they have operations, and still there is a cost involved on those charitable businesses. So every business has their own objectives. So if your business has a profitable objective, you want to make a profit, and then your ultimate objective is to capture value from the customer in terms of the revenue they are giving to the business. So if they're going to buy a high number of volume of our products or services, we're going to get more, you know, uh, revenue, and ultimately we can give more salaries to the customers. We can put more into research and development. We will be able to make good products and services ultimately. So customer lifetime value is the value of the entire stream of the purchaser that a customer would make over a lifetime of a product or patronage. So the thing is, the businesses try to see and try to endeavor that a customer will be their lifetime customer, and that's why they just put all the effort that the customer should come back and they do the repeat sale, because this repeat sale is going to help them to get the maximum profit. So it is very important for us to understand that there should be a repeat sale. As we must have discussed in our last lecture, initially in American economy, there were like before the World War, the customers were buying their products and services, whatever the manufacturers were manufacturing. But after the World War, the consumers were struggling. They were not having enough economic power, and then the businesses starts selling them the products and trying to target them, trying to sell them. They hired very clever kind of sellers, but unfortunately, the sellers, if you don't have a need and if you are not giving me a product according to my need, I'm not going to buy it or rebuy it. So that's why it's very challenging for the businesses to have product and services that customers are going to buy it for their lifetime. So the share of a customer is the portion of the customer purchasing that a company gets in its product categories. So in each product categories, companies in a businesses, we try to calculate the share and the market share and the competitors, how much share we have got. If you try to make a pie chart and we try to see what is our share in this whole market, what are our competitors' share, so we have to understand like where does our company finds ourselves, in the competition. So share of a customer is basically the portion of a customer's purchasing that a company gets in its product category. So if you have, again, coming back to the example of a detergents, and if we are talking about Surf Excel, Surf, so we have to understand like what is the customers purchasing in Surf Excel and how much they are purchasing. So if our customer is kind of Lulu, then they're gonna give us a significant amount of the purchase of the surf. So, and if our customer is our Bacala, they are also gonna buy much as compared to the individual customers. But still, because of the advancement of technology, as I told you, the Lulu and Thames, and they have got like loyalty cards, so they can track back to a right amount or an exact amount of share the customer is giving them against each category. So the data is going to speak out. For instance, if there is a customer that is buying like 3 cartons of milk from Lulu in a month basis, so that customer is going to be a high value customer as compared to other customers that they are not buying that much amount of uh, products from this company. So that is also important for the businesses to products from this company. So that is also important for the businesses to identify and realize. The whole objective is to treat your customers according to the value they are giving to the business. So this is not true that all the customers are equally important to the businesses. No, that's not true. The businesses does not treat all the customers similarly because different customers are giving different value to the company. That's why we have like business class in airlines, and then we have economy class. Why do they have a very luxurious kind of you know seating arrangements that we do in the airlines as compared to the economy class or the budgeted class? So the whole objective, if you see the menu, the kind of serving they are doing it, if you see the kinds of hospitality, if you can see the like the staff and the kind of care they are doing, so the whole objective is the businesses treat customers as per the value of the amount of the dollars or revenue or real that they are putting into the business. There's another concept that's very important, that is customer equity. So what is customer equity? Customer equity is the total combined customer lifetime value of all the company's customers. So what company does is it just try to calculate a lifetime value of all the company's customers. So what does it do is it just try to understand like how many customers will remain loyal throughout their lifetime of the product and services. So it is very important because it can be important when a customer company is trying to sell its brand to another company. So that also comes in the goodwill, and that also suggests how much valuable the company is, how much customers are going to be there, or they will be always available to them, and they'll be purchasing their product and services. This can help you to make future, decisions. If you wanna invent new product and you're going to start those products and services, what are the chances that your loyal customers are going to buy those products and services? These are your, the easy way to convince them. They are already your loyal customers. So customer equity is treated as a part of your, balance sheet. It is like the way we treat our assets in a company. So these are the customers. We treat them as an assets, that they are loyal customers. They will always be with us, and they just are very meaningful to the company. Let's go to the next slide and see what we. Okay, so how we can capture value from the customers. Building the right relationship with the right customers involves treating customers as assets that needs to be managed and maximized. So the the tricky thing in this definition is building right relationship with the right customer. That is the tricky thing. So it's not like the way I just told you, not all the customers are equally important to the businesses. A right relationship with the right customer. For instance, if a customer is not very giving you not a big amount of the wallet, if there is because there's sometimes the customers, they are just normal customers, but they take too much of your times and customer services, so ultimately they become more nuisance to the business. So you have to understand how much importance do we have to give to what customer. So a right kind of relationship with the right customer, it involves treating customer as an asset. It's not like the customer, they are giving you little amount of value. You do not ignore them, but you dedicate high efforts toward the businesses. They are contributing a high volume of the wallet, or the profit they are contributing to the company. Then different types of customers require different relationship management strategies. Uh, Again, this is the same point. Build the right relationship with the right customers. So not all the customers are equally important. Customers are very important, but you have to differentiate between the kind of volume of they are giving to you on your business. Now, the changing market landscape is very important for us to understand. I think we can talk on this for many hours. So, we know that digital age has come, and it has given us lots of opportunity. Like this marketing has changed a lot. I myself have recently done a couple of certification. One of my certification is in social media marketing, digital marketing. So that is very phenomenal, to be honest. Early, we just used to study marketing at universities, and we have never experienced that how actually can do the marketing. So, or when you were making some marketing efforts, you were not aware, like, are my marketing efforts fruitful or not? Is it gonna get me any benefit? Like in conventional marketing, we used to put advertisement on the TV, television, billboards. So how would you be able to measure the outcome of a billboard that you hang on a road? You pay a lot of money for that. You used to pay a lot of money on putting your advertisements in the newspaper. But now, because of the advancement of the technology, social media platform, so the social media platform that they have got, like, lots of viewers, so they can put advertisements over there. So have you ever wondered Why do we have all these social media platforms, all these things free? So the concept is that, according to a recent study, they say if you get something for free, it means you are the product. So all these social media platforms, including like Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever you just name them, what they use is they use your likes and dislikes, your habits, and all these things. So they just sell it to the customer, and we agree to them. When we are signing, when we are just signing into this, logging into the system, we are agreeing to all these things that yes, you can use my data, and then they just use our likes and preferences and the websites that we scroll on and all these things, and then they send us targeted advertisement. So this digital era has provided us lots of opportunity to the businesses, and they can just help you to tap down to a real value for money. As I told you, if you put an advertisement on a TV, so if you are targeting youth, you are targeting the peak time, and the peak time is like 7 to 8 like earlier it used to be like 6 to 8 at night, and but right now, if you're targeting, putting this advertisement on the TV, the youth is sitting in front of the TV, and the TV is still on. And if you are lucky, it's the same channel on which you have put this advertisement. What happens next? If the youth is busy on his mobile and he is or she is surfing on like Twitter, on LinkedIn or Instagram or Snapchat, so your value for money is gone. Now, what they have done is that because we log into our systems, they've got an exact data on us. They know it's a male or a female. They can just learn from our likes and dislikes, the websites that you've been using. So all this data helps them to identify your personality and your likes and dislikes, and that helps you to market and target the right, customers. So digital age has given a lots of opportunities to the businesses. So I think this is a great initiative. This is a great advantage that today's marketers they enjoy as compared to the marketers in our era. So yes, if you are running a business or as a marketing student, you must get yourself this social media or digital marketing certifications and must get yourself involved into this because it's going to be very fascinating. It's going to give you a complete detail on your each penny that is being spent. Imagine if you are running an advertisement for 500 Saudi Riyal, and if you are asking them, I need this much clicks, and I may need this much click on that is coming to my web page. I need customers awareness. I need customers, making the orders, and they just take money when they do this for you. This social media advertisement, Google or Facebook Meta advertisement ensures that your ad is being shown to the right kind of customers, and it will ensure that they click it, and it will ensure that they come to your website. So that is a great, amazing thing. You must be like get yourself familiarized with. I will tell you the courses. You can take the courses, and that is very phenomenal. So one of so I can talk on this quite a lot, to be honest. So, but anyways, a rapid globalization that has also facilitated this whole phenomena of marketing, as we know that in early 1960s, 70s, or before the World War, there were very stringent kind of boundaries between the countries. So the countries were reluctant to do trade between themselves. But after the World War, they developed World Trade Organization (WTO), and then they just keep on moving and trying to decrease the barriers between different countries so that they can facilitate this trade. So the whole objective was that the trade should be smooth and seamless. Now you can see this, like if you order something and that is coming from China or it's just coming from Australia or America, it's gonna take a couple of like days, 3, 4, 5 days or 6, 7 days. It can just come to you right to your doorstep. That has never been possible in the near history, you know. So this Amazon, Alibaba, and other the platforms, they have revolutionized this thing, and they are capitalizing upon this globalization because the companies have the countries, and they understand its importance. They understand like when their products and services will be uh, marketed abroad, they're gonna earn them good, you know, revenue. Now, this also has triggered most of the time problems. They are related with the ethics and social responsibility. So there's can be we can have a lots of debate on this ethics and social responsibility. The thing is like of most of the products like Marks and Spencer's, the units are in China, and when the way they are producing those products in China, that are quite debatable as per to the American standards. So if you are selling Marks and Spencer in America, and if you are not abiding by all the laws that the labor laws and all these things. So when you see that product is being made in China, there are lots of labor laws and lots of things are being compromised. So so lots of issues are generating. People are asking lots of questions. So it just reminds me like when I was in UK. So I was in my company and I was just talking to another manager, and I was telling that there's a sale on say the sale was on Marks and Spencer. I said there's a sale on that, and they're selling it for like uh, £10 2 shirts, you know, and that's quite a reasonable amount. And he goes like, do you know, like if they are selling 2 shirts for £10, so they are actually selling one shirt for £5. So if they're selling one shirt for £5, imagine the cost of this outlet. Imagine they are having their employees on this outlet, and imagine they're having electricity bills and other things. Imagine the cost it might have involved to bring it from China. Imagine the airfare and all these, you know, the way luggage might have come. So ultimately, that a friend of mine, Daryl Hughes, was the manager. He says ultimately they must have compromised on the wages of this labor staff that is working in China. And I was looking at him and I was thinking like he did not study this stuff and still he knows this, you know, because we as a business students we are familiar with these things, but an average person also thinks about these things. So the whole concept is that ethics and social responsibilities have been compromised, and there's lots of debate on it, lots of corporate scandals that have emerged because of these mm, uh, businesses. They're going global. Lots of issues they come across, like in developed country, in certain countries, you cannot give bribe. You cannot give bribe and get, you know, the orders. But when the countries they go in different other countries, underdeveloped countries, you can't move anything without giving a bribe. So even in United Nations and in America, the companies they just complain with their you know country local laws that if we do not bribe, we cannot win the contract. So what should we do to win the contract? So they have been allowed And you'll be find it very funny that even into United Nations, and they have accepted that this is the ground reality, that in some countries you cannot get the orders, you cannot get these, bid if you are trying to bid for construction of a road or any big, unit. So you must have to win it, and for the only reason and the way you can win it, you can just bribe them. So they have technically allowed them, and they just give them the terms. They use it. They call it speed money, or they also call them grease money. So technically, they allow them to bribe to get to win the bid or the project. So there are lots of ethical and social responsibility issues that the companies are facing, because when they're going internationally, then we have not-for-profit marketing. So we see in America and British, the Christianity is facing a big challenge. There are lots of Christians, they're becoming Muslims. So because of that, they just find it very difficult, like how to survive. So in UK, we have come across many times, and the people, they just roaming around on the roads trying to convince people to come to the church, and they have with them the pamphlets. They have made these pamphlets as marketing tactics, and they made it in different languages. They would ask you, where you from? Are you from Saudi Arabia? Okay, I've got a from in Arabic. And then for another they have got in Urdu, and for another they've got in Hindi, and in different languages. So what we're trying to say here is that lots of businesses that are not for profit, they are also involved in marketing strategies, and they're following the marketing strategy. Similarly, I know that Melinda and Bill Gates, they have their charity fund, and there's lots of other charities, the Muslim Brotherhoods, and I remember many other just marketing, not-for-profit marketing kind of businesses. They are in the and they are putting pressure on the companies. They are just trying to make sure that they follow the rules and regulations. Okay, so what is marketing and pulling it together? Let's see this, how we can create value for customers and build customer relationships. So the first step, as we talked about, is understanding the marketplaces and customers' needs and wants. So that requires research, customers, and the marketplaces. So you can't do a marketing without understanding your customers in a proper manner. So this is very true, that you just do this step, and you can do it without you can't do it without doing a proper research of the customer. Then based on your finding of the customers, you design a customer driven marketing strategy. So what is to be developed, how it has to be developed, and when is to be developed. So you select customers to serve, you define them as a market segment, and this market segment should be very focused. You cannot say like we are building this university, King Faisal University, for the consumers or for the people in Al Hassa. No, you have to be focused, right? Because we are focusing for the youth who may be from 19 years old to 23 years old, 25 years old, or male or female. So you have to be very focused on them. Then you should construct an integrated marketing program that delivers superior value. So what it should mean is like your marketing, all the channels, marketing plans should be in such a manner that they communicate the advantages and disadvantages of the products, and the customer should be well aware. The products and service design is and they just try to build them in such a manner that it should be it should build strong brands. Then ultimately what we are trying to do is build profitable relationship and creating customer delights. So the objective is if the customers are happy, they're going to give us a repeat sales. And they've been talking about our business, which we call a word of mouth. So we have to create this. This will help to develop customer relationship management, build strong relationship with choosing customers. So that's the point which I was emphasizing earlier. Choosing customers, not all the customers, but with certain chosen customers, they are very important that you have to understand. So let's see what when you are understanding the customer marketplace, you do customer research, and that helps you to manage marketing information and customer data. So that helps us to manage customer data, you know. So lots of data is coming in. When you design a customer-driven marketing strategy, as we talked about, it gives select customers to serve market segmentations. We are doing it, and then you decide on a value proposition, differentiate in positioning. That is very crucial. What is that different you are going to offer? Why a customer? Because we have already got like different products and services, why they should be coming to your company. So you have to differentiate your product and service from the rest. This construct and integrated marketing programs. If we go downward, we'll see that they are doing the products and service design, building strong brands, and then they are making strategies for the pricing of the price that really creates value. And then they decide about distribution, manage demands, and supply chains. How we are going to manage the supply chain and demand, and the promotional strategies that we are going to follow, and the value we are going to give to the customer. Again, coming to this building profitable relationships, we talked about relationship building with the chosen customers and making partnerships with whom build strong relationship with marketing partners. So these all things, they are ultimately contributing to capturing value from the customers to create profits and customer equity. So this is what we are aiming, that we are just trying to get the profit from our customers. The objectivity is to earn maximum profit. Okay, so that is capturing the value from customers to create profits and customer equity. So customer equity means your customers are your assets, and we treat them, if we have got a number of loyal customers, they are our equity, they are our assets. So that creates more customer loyalty and customer satisfaction. It creates capture customer lifetime value, so they'll be committed with longer time with the company. It will increase the share of the market and share of the customers. So as a whole, it's going to be a very effective process, and it's going to help us to develop a mechanism in which we can get maximum output from the customers. Now, this whole process is triggered by harnessing marketing technology, and like I told you, social media marketing, digital marketing, and other marketing strategies that you bring into play. And the customer does not realize it, but ultimately they are getting benefit of this. Managing global markets, because nowadays you are not operating in your own country, but you are operating globally. So, and if you're putting your products on the website, so your order can come from anywhere from the world. So because of the advancement at least Alibaba and Amazon and things like that. You can just sell your products anywhere around the world. And then you have to ensure ethical and social responsibility. These are the challenges that you face in today's era. So I guess this is it. We have just sum it up that there are like different 4 stages that we go, and then we are able to capture the customer value. What is the stage 1? Understanding the marketplace and customer needs and wants. What is stage 2? Designing a customer-driven marketing strategy. What is stage 3? Constructing an integrated marketing program that delivers superior value. On stage 4, building profitable relationship and creating customer delight, and that ultimately help us to go to capture value from customers to create profits and customer equity. Okay, this is it. We are done with today's lecture. If students, you have any question on this today's discussion, please go ahead. If you want to ask anything, if you okay, let me read out your question. Okay, Iqdas, Doctor, I'm having difficulty figuring out what's important, what to focus on for studying. Could you please point out the most important points or information? So like, how do you mean by that? The important point, all of them are important. That's why I'm discussing. We are not discussing anything unimportant. So I don't know what you're talking about right now. If you can help me, or in the next class we can just talk about it. What do you mean by this? Because I just can't comprehend what do you mean by this. Figure out. This is a very interesting things, marketing. So these are the just basics of the marketing, and I hope it's gonna. But if it's your first of the marketing, then it will take some time for you to understand this concept, but it's not going to be very difficult. So anyways, I can just stop